Prepper call-in line at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. It is not college football season without the delicious taste of an ice cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it's a pepper thing. Along with Chris Canty, Evan Cohen with you. Small's back with us on Monday. Good morning. Happy New Year. Thank you to all of those like Emmett and Aaron and Courtney and Myron that were in for us over the last couple of weeks. Good morning, CC.
Merry New Year to Evan Cohen and the Unsportsmanlike family. It's good to see you. Good to be with you again. Now, just the annual public service announcement.
Oh, no.
That
I know
you
where
have
this is going.
a week to wish everybody a Merry New Year, and then after that, you got to get away. You got to get away from it. It's done. You got until January 7th. Once we get there, it's over with. No more Happy New Year. No more Happy Holidays. No more New Year, New Me. All of that stuff has to go out of the window. We're just in 2026 at that point. So enjoy it while it lasts. You got another weekend. You can say Happy New Year this weekend. You can say Happy New Year next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But after that, we're done with it. Agreed?
Well, I know our social and digital guy, Rob Lorenzo, too well. And I know based on what you just said, he has now set a reminder for himself on January 8th to start our social media at UnsportsESPN on Twitter, at UnsportsLike on Instagram with a Happy New Year. That's for sure. And then, Smalls is back Monday, so we got to go through the Happy New Year with her too. But also one other update. You are still soon to be dead.
Yeah.
Right? We are still in the window. The due date has not even come and gone yet. But
no, the due date is now. It's not the official due date, but the due date is now. He need to bring his ass. It's time. Like the kid is milking it, literally and figuratively.
Oh God!
Like we're gonna give him the weekend, Ev, and then I'm gonna have my lawyer draw up the paperwork for an eviction. He's out of there. We're evicting him next week. If he doesn't come over the weekend, we're getting him out of there next week. It's time already.
So I just want to be clear.
My wife is walking around with a watermelon attached to her stomach. It's ridiculous.
So you already have beef with your unborn son?
Yes. Yes.
You're already considering grounding your unborn son. It's like, all right, you know what? Go to your room, kid. No screens. No, absolutely not. Do your homework. Do your job. The kid's not born yet.
The kid needs to do his job. He needs to come on down. Do your job. Come on, son.
What do you think he's waiting for? Is there something in sports? Because we know this kid's going to be a big sports guy. Is there something in sports that you think your son is like, you know what? I'll show up if this happens.
Well, I'll say this. I think Nuno, I was texting with Nuno when I was at the doctor's office a couple of days ago, and he got all political on me. He said the kid wants to come in under the Mondami administration. He doesn't want to be an Eric Adams baby. So, I mean, that's where Nuno took it. I didn't even think about it. So we had the Zoran sworn in yesterday at City Hall. So maybe, just maybe, the kid decides he's going to come this weekend. I know, Evan, I know is this. My wife was walking up and down stairs in our building sideways to try to negotiate with this kid to come out. That's how serious it was. Like, she's over. My wife walked up 12 flights of stairs yesterday sideways to try to induce labor.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's he's already over 9 pounds. It's time. Like there's no more, sir, there is no more room, okay? You're uncomfortable because there's no more room. So you can do all the kicking and punching you want. You're not going to get any more room in there. The only place you're going to have more room is if you come out and decide you're going to be born.
Oh, my God. Well, the moment you go to the texting with Nuno and what you're texting about is the moment I go to the college football playoff is what I do in that spot, and I get us right out of that one. That's for sure. I mean, you had a very funny bit until we went to Nuno's text. Oh, boy, Nuno. Jeez. Anyway.
Nuno got all political, man.
I mean, you had such a great bit going, and then Nuno's text messages really threw us off. But yesterday, I'm still in Florida at ESPN West Palm, and my wife and kids were out and about yesterday and doing things out of the house, and I said, I got to stay home. And I got to stay home because we're on tomorrow, college football playoff, and I got to watch these 2 games here during the day. And boy, did I wish I went out and about yesterday because, oh, my God. Oregon annihilated Texas Tech 23-0, and Indiana destroyed Alabama 38-3. Those are the two early games. The late game was great. Ole Miss and Georgia 39-34. Ole Miss wins that game. Georgia was up 21-12 at the half. Ole Miss comes back. They were up 34-24, and then Georgia comes back. Ole Miss final drive, game-winning field goal, and it's now setting up for the semifinals in college football. The Fiesta Bowl on January 8th. Of course, all these games on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Radio. As you heard the call coming in on ESPN Radio. That's going to be number 10 Miami, number 6 Ole Miss, the Peach Bowl, Friday, January 9th, 7:30 p.m., number 5 Oregon, number 1 Indiana in that rematch. And I think the story of the day, at least during the day, during that Rose Bowl yesterday, was Fernando Mendoza, number 1 pick, probably coming out in the NFL draft this year. Did he do enough in your mind yesterday to solidify not only himself as number 1 overall, but now to make Indiana the clear-cut favorite as an undefeated number 1 team in America, rematch against Oregon, no Ohio State, no Georgia?
Yeah, no Ohio State, no Georgia. I still think that Ole Miss team is feisty, so you're going to have to watch them. And then, of course, with the way that Miami played against Ohio State and the way they dominated Texas A&M, it's hard to dismiss them as a true title contender. I understand that Indiana is the favorite, as they should be. They were the only undefeated team throughout the regular season and conference championship game week. So I give them credit where credit is due. And Mendoza was phenomenal. But to me, going into that game, I already thought those things. The big takeaway for me with the Rose Bowl was Alabama and the state of affairs with that program, because they got bullied from pillar to post in that matchup. And listen, and it's not like they got bullied by a perennial power. They got bullied by Indiana. Now, I get it. It's not your mom and dad's Indiana Hoosiers team. Kurt Cignetti has got that program rolling. But Alabama gave up 215 yards rushing yesterday, and they were only able to run the ball for 23 yards on 17 carries. When's the last time you saw Alabama damn near minus 200 when it comes to rush differential in a matchup in the postseason? And I guess that's the part that's a little jarring for me, because this is unfamiliar territory for the Crimson Tide faithful, to be in a position where your team showed so poorly and your quarterback got outplayed so significantly by the opposing team's quarterback.
Well, you mentioned the name, right? It's not your parents' version of Indiana. Kurt Cignetti, the phenomenal Indiana head coach, had this to say about his team and that moment not being too big.
Well, I mean, why should it be too big? Because our name's Indiana. We got a lot of veteran starters. They've played a lot of successful football in their careers. They have high character. They have great leadership and character on this football team. And, we've come through in the clutch moments. So I'm proud of the way that they responded and prepared and met this challenge. And it's a great win.
You know, CC, yes, because their name's Indiana. Like Coach Cignetti, here's why. Branding is in effect everywhere in the world more than it ever has been. And Indiana as a brand is a basketball brand. We are not used to Indiana as the football brand. What we are used to is what you just said, that dominating run game and defense of Alabama. That's the brand that Bear Bryant created, then Nick Saban created after that. So we are used to the football brand destroying the basketball brand.
Yes.
And the exact opposite happened. And by the way, who's more likely to be in the Final Four in basketball? It's Alabama, right? That's been good in basketball. It's what you're having texts with Nuno about politics. I was talking to him this morning about, my point for the last 3 years on our show about the other job is the job you want, not the main job at the school. Indiana football, better than Indiana basketball job, even though Indiana basketball, more pressure. Alabama basketball, maybe better than Alabama football in terms of the job because of what you just said. Now, what are you doing? You're putting Kalen DeBoer in the crosshairs? You're wondering about Ty Simpson's future, right? I mean, that's what you're doing here this morning, are you not?
Oh, 1,000%. You're questioning all of those things. And if you're Alabama, why would you want Ty Simpson to come back? I get that he played well throughout the first part of the season, but if you look at the last 5 or 6 ball games, Ty Simpson has not played well. And Alabama has struggled with consistency on the offensive side of the ball. And so I'm not quite sure where you go, but it's clear to me, just based on how this has played out, how it's bared itself out over the last month and a half of football, that this Alabama team has taken on the persona of its head coach. And I got to say, Ev, it's a softer brand of football. And I'm not quite sure that that's going to lead to the Crimson Tide getting to where they want to go in the SEC. I get that you won a playoff game. You beat Oklahoma. Congratulations to you. Oklahoma's offense was inept. But, man, when you go up against competition that we believe should be in the title contention, a true threat to win the national championship, you got embarrassed. And I'm not sure that Alabama isn't going to continue to cede ground in the coming years when you look at the state of affairs in their conference and the national landscape overall. So, yeah, I think there's got to be some tough questions being asked in Tuscaloosa about whether or not they got the right person to head up their program.
A lot more on that part of it, obviously. There's no Michigan to go to as we thought maybe could be in that case. Now, we are going to get to the SEC game that was last night, Ole Miss and Georgia, in just a little bit. But on the first game of the day yesterday, it was a snoozer. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Oregon beating Texas Tech. It was just an awful football game. Dante Moore, quarterback, Oregon. What did you see from him yesterday, and